This is the half man, half amazing ballin' superstar, Montel Vontavious Porter, MVP, and you are listening to Mitch Please.
It's just a silly man trying to understand who the fuck I am on this US land. I let my hair grow, then I cut it off. Put a couple lines in it, cause you know I'm never coming soft. I do a lot of shows and I get a lot of stares. I got a lot of haters, but really who cares?
We're doing it big. Episode 18. Welcome to Mitch Please. Thanks for giving us a click. And this is going to be the last Mitch Please of 2016. And I'm real excited because here in just a minute, I'm going to be joined by one of my best friends, a guy who was on episode 1, he was on episode 5, and he's coming back as the first 3-time Mitch Pleaser. Showtime Mike Shupe is going to be on here in just a minute. But before that, I just want to thank everyone for spreading the word about this show, you know, for getting on Facebook and sharing the pages and sharing the episodes and subscribing to the YouTube channel. And, you know, this is a huge episode, I think, this week. Of course, MVP with that intro. Big thanks to him. And later on, we'll have Jacob FATU, and we'll get to his story. And then I'll be sharing some other great stories here later on this show. But right now, without any further ado, welcome back to Mitch Please. Like I said, the first ever 3-time Mitch Pleaser. He's the sole owner of the Shube. He is the leader of the Shube Troop, the former 3-time Inter-California champion, former PCW tag team champion. He is the work farm obstacle course time record holder, Mike Showtime Shupe. Mike Shupe, welcome to the show, bro.
Thank you, Mitch.
What an intro, right?
I know. Jeez. I wasn't aware I was a 3-time Inter-California champion, but I'll take it.
Was it 2-time or was it 3-time?
I think it was 2-time plus that one time I dressed as Pink Dragon. So maybe...
Wait. You dressed as... I thought Pink Dragon was your cousin.
Pink Dragon was his own identity, but the first time I dressed as him because I couldn't have any more matches with Chico. But that's besides the point. I don't know who this new Pink Dragon guy is or where he is. But
we're pulling back the curtain here. So at least one time Mike Shupe has admitted to dressing up as Pink Dragon. I hope we get to see Pink Dragon. We haven't seen him in 2016, have we?
I don't know where he is.
Yeah, me either. Well, the hunt is on. If you've seen him, let us know. But... you know, I want to talk about the year, man. I want to talk about 2016. I want to talk about some of the things that have stood out to you in the world of professional wrestling, the thing that we love. And I want to get you back on the show. I know we've been teasing this because there's no timer set this time. There wasn't. The first time we got you on, man, it was the first episode, didn't know what I was doing, and we really didn't get to tell your story. And you're going to come on and you're going to tell your story. What do you think, episode 50, episode 100? We got to build it up big.
Yeah.
Because you've been on the show, and you've been talking a lot of stuff on this show, and one thing I just wanted to touch on, because it is December, it's the end of the year, one thing that stood out to me, man, with me and you, is December of 2013. I thought was our biggest night, one of our biggest nights as a unit, because it was Pro Championship Wrestling. It was the first ever Pandemonium, and you won the Inter-California Championship. You cashed in your Breakout Star briefcase.
Yeah.
What are your memories on that, just real quick?
I remember the night was a good night. I woke up and I just had a feeling I was going to be cashing that in, and I remember the match. I had an 8-man tag or 8-person tag. I guess you can't say man because Kimmy and Kikyo were in that.
Yeah, no, you were as an 8-man tag. It was you. It was the Shube Troop. It was you, Lee, Propane, and at the time Karahime against what was it? Drew and the Dealers and Kimmy.
Yeah. And I remember there's a little bit of controversy after that match because.
without pulling back the curtain too much, there was some miscommunication on the finish of that match, and you ended up going over with the crossface, which is what I thought should have happened, and what did happen. But yeah, you did get a little heat for that, but it was my fault, really. And then later on, it was Chico challenging James Haight for the title. He wins the title. He hurts his knee in the match. I remember going to the ER with him later.
I think it was his actually his ankle.
Yeah,
his ankle. He did a like a somersault flip thing off the apron onto James Haight, and his ankle got caught as he landed and totally tore it. So after the match, he won, and I cashed in on old Chico Lopez.
You cashed in, bro, and I mean, this was a moment. I mean, you guys had the tag belts for like 45 minutes, but like, to me, this was your biggest moment of your career at this point, because you've had titles in other promotions, but like, this is Pro Championship Wrestling. This is Oroville Pandemonium, 400 people. I mean, and this is a serious title with some real credibility. Brian Cage, the first champion. So how did it feel, bro, winning that title?
It was really emotional to me, because like you said, it has a lot of history. I was there as a fan when Brian Cage was crowned as the first Inter-California champion, only to lose it the same night to Chupacabra. But that was like the main title I wanted to win when I saw it, especially like right after they PCW came out with the new design. I thought it was the coolest looking title ever. And when I won the Breakout Star briefcase, at that point was my favorite moment of my career. I was in there with some good workers, good wrestlers, and when I won that, I was very, very emotional on that. But when I cashed in, it was a surreal moment. It was like in this business, like, you never know what's going to happen until it actually happens. You could be told a million things, and until your music hits and it actually happens, you're not sure. And so when it happened, it was a really surreal moment. Like, I was up there with the likes of Brian Cage, Chupacabra, Dylan Drake, James Haight,
Tito Pitbull Aquino, my boy. I got to get him on the show too. Shout out to Tito. But no, it was a big night, man. It was a big night for you. And that was the only match that followed that was my match, the 4-way with Rick and Primetime and Will, and I got the big win, pinning all of them. So for us as a collectively, we both ended the show. We were two of the top heels on the show, and you were holding gold, and I was the number one contender for the other belt, and it was awesome, man. I remember we hung out afterwards, and it felt really good, man. But fast forwarding, 3 years later, here we are, December 2016. I think it's been an interesting year for you. It's been one of the worst years of my life, man, as far as just physically, mentally, and everything else, except for I've gotten to debut and do this show, which I love doing. And so just reflecting on 2016, we could talk about the world of wrestling as a whole, but just, I don't know, man, in your mind, like, what are some of the moments just overall in NorCal wrestling and in just professional wrestling in general that stick out to you the most about 2016?
It's 2016's been, I think, a good year overall for professional wrestling. I mean, WWE, I mean, it's talent-wise probably been the best it's been in years, with all the indie guys, the TNA guys that have came up. And,
well, so much has happened with NXT and the Cruiserweight Classic, and the women's division. But for me personally, it's been kind of a roller coaster of emotions. Like, I wasn't really booked too many places. I wasn't booked in my home company of PCW too much. And then all of a sudden now I'm with Zack, Mr. Primetime, and in a main event storyline, and I love what I'm doing there now. I'm in a role where I'm not really wrestling that much, but I'm having a blast doing what I'm doing. I just wrestled Royce Isaacs, which I was shocked to hear that I was wrestling him, considering I'm not a full-time wrestler with
PCW right now.
Well, let me just say this, man. Yeah, Royce Isaacs is a very talented guy. I got to meet him at this past Work Farm Wars, and I thought you guys had a great match. And they had a great match with Pat, also at Work Farm Wars this year. Match of the nights both times, I would say. And also, going down to Fist Combat. We'll get into that, but just staying on PCW in primetime, I thought that was one of the biggest moments, honestly, in NorCal wrestling, to see him after 17 years as a top babyface turn heel, be an asshole, and he's a great asshole, right. I mean, I'm a pretty good asshole, and I learned from him, and you're a pretty good asshole, and you learn from him too. So it's like, no, I thought that was a big moment. I thought him adding Kimmy, him adding you was real big, and I love the island of misfits. Misfit Toys, I love what you guys are doing. So what was your favorite match you had this year?
My favorite match, I can't. I
put you on the spot, man. I asked the tough questions on Mitch, please, bro. Come on.
The hard-hitting questions. Like I said, I haven't worked too much this year, but probably my comeback match in PCW with Pat was a big one. I know it was my comeback with PCW. It was Pat's comeback at PCW. We both wanted to impress. We both wanted to show people. We wanted to show the people backstage, and especially the people in charge that took us off the show in the first place, that we could hang. And we had match of the night and did just that. So yeah, I think that was probably my favorite match this year. I was debuting a new character with my Mike Showtime Shupe character, and
you're dancing.
My dancing, which is a little homage to the Mitch Valentine character, I guess.
Oh, is it?
Maybe. We'll just say that because I'm on Mitch Pierce.
Well, let's talk about this. Speaking of that Mitch guy, me personally, man, I've only done this year's gonna end. I think I've done 4 shows. I didn't think I was gonna do any. Right. But after Off the Chain and seeing all the changes in PCW as you spoke on, there is new management. There's people making decisions that weren't making decisions in 2015, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, where we were a big part of everything going on, the daily operation. So things change, man. It's evolution. That's the way things have to be. I'm really, honestly, truly, I have faith in what's happening with PCW and the changes that are being made, and I think that a lot of them are for the good, and I think everything's going to work itself out. But I know for me, after Off the Chain, which, by the way, ended with your music and you walking to the back and people dancing, Off the Chain, the event that means so much to me personally, but I sat at the merch table and I was frustrated, and I said, well, this is not what I thought I'd be doing it Off the Chain. So I remember saying, okay, I'm not going to be doing anything at Off the Chain. I'm not doing anything at PCW right now. I'm going to do something somewhere else. So I got a hold of Mikey Gordon and Fist Combat, and literally that Friday after Off the Chain, we were booked at Fist Combat. It was me, you, and Kimmy, and we got to re-debut Cupid Shupe, Cupid Mikey Shupe with his Uncle Love, Mitchy Valentine, and we only got a chance to do 2 shows, right? Both in Santa Cruz, but I thought it was for me, it was an amazing feeling, and I couldn't have been happier to be out there with anybody else. And what are your memories of those 2 Fist Combat shows we did? And unfortunately, we had a big opportunity on that 3rd show. We weren't able to make it. I've talked about that on this show. You can touch on that if you'd like. But yeah, go ahead and spit a little about the Fist.
Yeah, the Fist. I was really happy to get that opportunity, because I remember when he was running originally with Beach Slam, I really wanted to do that, and I didn't get to do that. So the fact that I got to do the first Fist Combat show that I did, I was really happy. And I remember I got there, and it kind of had like that feeling of like back in the day before I joined PCW. It was real small, a small feeling, and our match that we had with Diego, old PCW work farm student, it was fun, even though It was a bit dangerous, but
it was what it was. Like I said, I touched on that. I mean, Diego's a guy that he loves pro wrestling. He's had some training, but a little more training ain't gonna hurt anybody. We all should never stop training. But no, it was fun. But I thought it was more fun our second show at the church, and like you said, it was a feeling where I like the way Mikey G does business because he doesn't hide anything. There's nothing. Everything that's happening on the show, Mikey's telling you, and you're seeing, and we're helping, and we showed up and we helped him, and I enjoy working for him, and you got to wrestle Pat again, and what are your memories of that match? And
I really enjoyed that match. I think it's only taken 12 years of my wrestling career total, but I finally feel like my heat is getting where it needs to be. And my match with Pat, I really enjoyed it. The character, the Cupid Mikey Shupe character, I think has definitely evolved since debuting it in SWF and then bringing it to SPW. It's definitely the best it's been, and I really, really hope that Fist Combat has us back. I know he says we're welcome back in February, so hopefully that comes to fruition.
Fruition. That's the word. That's the word. I don't know how to spell it. No, I think I know how to spell it. FRUITION. That's probably wrong though. They'll get me on Twitter later at Heartbreaker MV at Shellhammer Time on Twitter right here, man. We're big tweeters. Probably, the two most followed people on Twitter at the PCW Work Farm, I'd say.
Yep.
But, no, so it was fun at Fist Combat, and I'm sure we will be back, and they've got a lot of things going on, and, check those guys out, and tell them you want more Cupid Shupe, and you want more Uncle Love. Because, really, who doesn't? So, and everyone, man, we want to do this gimmick all over. We want to take it to All Pro Wrestling and Gold Rush Pro Wrestling and Vendetta Pro Wrestling and Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. I could see me and you going anywhere and making a statement and adding to a show and having a good time and having some good matches, some good promos, and I can see it definitely happening in 2017. I'm excited for 2017, bro. But let's finish up here talking about 2016. Said your favorite match was with Pat, Maniac Pat.
Yeah, Maniac Pat.
What was your favorite match that you kind of saw as a fan? Looking back, or moment. Something that stood out maybe in WWE or TNA or Ring of Honor or Evolve or where NXT. All these places.
Right.
Lucha Underground. New Japan Pro Wrestling. Sorry, go ahead.
Of course,
they're everywhere.
The broken Matt Hardy stuff is just at first when I first saw it, I was just like, this is ridiculous. What's Matt Hardy on drugs? What's going on? And I didn't watch any of it for a long time, and people started talking to me about it because they knew I was a huge Matt Hardy fan in high school and everything. So I finally caught some of it, and it's gold. I love it. Indie wrestling wise, I really liked. I really liked seeing MPT and Luster and Redding. It was a good I thought MPT and Adam was a Last Man Standing.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really good match, and when MPT and Luster was booked, I wasn't sure if it was gonna be able to beat that match, but it was really enjoyable to watch. I laughed pretty hard when Luster grabbed Kimmy and inappropriately thrusted her in the ring.
Yeah, that's the first thing I think about when I think of that match, and that's good because it stood out and it was memorable. Zach's been on a tear this year, man. He's been having great matches. Probably the best year for him I remember in a while. And then going back to Broken Matt Hardy, last time I had you on the show, it was just the beginnings of that, and we were like, why does Matt look like he's on drugs and what's going on? And we didn't even know. And then now, bro, we're in the car together. We're listening to all of the podcasts that interview him. We've studied up on all the footage. Did you get a chance to see Total Nonstop Deletion?
Yeah, but
Yes. No.
Yes.
I have not seen the total nonstop deletion quite yet, but I definitely would like to. It looks interesting.
So we're just finishing up here on Mitch Please. We've been impromptu Jones, to borrow a line from the Taz show here. Kimmy has just shown up, and we're just talking about 2016 over here, Kimmy. We're talking about our favorite moments, things that have stood out the most to us. Shupe said his favorite match was against Pat. Kimmy, if I could welcome you in here impromptu to the show. You look excited. What's been some of your favorite things about 2016?
Oh, I don't know. 2016 has been rough. Like matches for myself.
Yeah, like some of your favorite matches or some of your favorite things that you've done this year.
Turning heel definitely was my favorite thing by far. Yeah.
Yep. Big turn for Zack this year. Big turn for Kimmy. We were talking about that earlier. And then just, again, going back to what we were talking about, the broken Matt Hardy stuff. I mean, Kimmy, what has been some of the stuff that has stood out to you just in the wrestling world in general? I know for me, like, Raw's 3 hours long, and I can't even watch it. But there is stuff that I like. I like what Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens is doing. I like, Nakamura and Joe in NXT. But I'll bring it over to Shupe here first, and then I'll ask you, Kimmy. Shupe, what has been you were talking about broken Matt Hardy, but anything else that stands out to you about 2016?
Just NXT in general, man. Like, all of the talent they're bringing. Like, I love that they brought in, I don't know if it was 2016 they brought him in, but Austin Aries, they brought him in. They brought just having AJ Styles with WWE was surreal. Like, it's still kind of, when I see him, it's still weird to me to see AJ Styles in a WWE ring
as the WWE champion.
Right. Would really, really love to see him come out to some of his old music. I can't stand his theme music.
You don't like that DMX inspired? No, you don't want none?
No, I don't want none. I'm ready to fly, and I don't want none.
Every day is mine. Dirt from the other guy. Yeah. Doing my best to pass the test. I like that song too, actually.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I just started watching NXT again, and I love seeing Eric Young and Bobby Roode in NXT.
Glorious.
Yeah.
Oh, let me kick it over to Kimmy real quick, Shupe. So, Kimmy, you said you love turning heel. You've been doing some really entertaining stuff with Primetime and PCW. You've been working with AGB and Gold Rush Pro Wrestling. But as a fan, what has been some of your favorite things about 2016?
By far the best thing that's going on right now is definitely Chris Jericho's You Made the List. Yes. That's like the only entertaining thing that they have on Raw right now. Like, I cannot stand the Charlotte and Sasha show going on. How many times can you have the same match over and over? Ugh.
No, I hear you. And, Charlotte's had the belt 4 times. Sasha's had the belt 3 or 4 times. But I'll be honest, I just watched their Iron Man match on Sunday. And, dude, Charlotte had the damn figure 4. They went into overtime, so they went a half hour, went to draw. They went into overtime. Charlotte's got the figure 4 locked on. Sasha's bleeding all over her face, and she ends up tapping out last second, which I don't know if I would have had her do, but Charlotte just went 16-0 on pay-per-view, and I get it. It is kind of overdone, but, I mean, I don't know. I'm a fan of what they're doing with the women, Kimmy. I don't know how you're feeling about, the use of more women. I mean, women are main evented pay-per-views this year. They main evented Raw and, had Iron Man matches.
No, I love what they're doing with the women. I just wish they give more opportunities to the other women. They're giving every single specialty match that's never been done before to those 2. Why can't they give it to some of the other girls?
Gotcha. I gotcha. I mean, that's the question we'd have to ask old Meek Mahan, because he's making those decisions. But I'm just guessing those 2 are they're working harder than everybody. Or, Snoop Dogg and Ric Flair got a little word in there for him, too. All right, guys. Hey, Shupe, thanks for coming on the show for the 3rd time. Kimmy, impromptu, got you on. I knew I would get you one day, and I'm sure we'll get you on again down the line. Kimmy, go ahead and plug your social media. Where can people find more out about you online?
You're asking me. I don't run much of my social media myself. I have Instagram, Twitter. I have YouTube. A page is getting made currently. And I have my Facebook fan page. But if you want to know the links, I cannot help you there.
The secret is out. All of Kimmy's social media is run by Superstar Productions. Shupe, lay it on us.
Yeah. So you can find Kimmy on Twitter at Kimberly Hyrule. You can find her Instagram, I believe is it's Kiko 1313. That's KEY KEYKO 1313. Her fan page is facebook.com/Kimmy Shellhammer. And I believe that's it for Kimmy. For me, though, you can find my Twitter at @ShellhammerTime. And you can find me on Snapchat and Instagram at Mike Shupe 101.
Oh, yeah, I think Eva Marie called it her husbander over here. We got
the boyfriender.
The boyfriender, Mike Shupe. Kimmy, thank you guys so much for coming on the show here, and let's do it even bigger in 2017.
Let's do it.
We're gonna do it. I know we're gonna do it again. Oh yeah, big shout out to Shupe and Kimmy, or as I call them, Shimmy. Thank you guys for coming on the show. Make sure also you guys check out Superstar Productions. Give that a like on Facebook. The graphic you're looking at right now, hopefully you're looking at it. At least you're listening. But basically, a lot of work has been done by Superstar Productions, and Mike Shupe can do a lot of things. And that's a whole different conversation. But no, with Superstar Productions, I mean, you can get a flyer done, you can graphic done, any type of photography. He's got experience in that department with Superstar Photography. Another page you could like with lots of pictures of me. So definitely want to like those. But again, Superstar Productions, man. Flyers, graphics, photography, video editing. Check them out. And much love to Mike Shupe and, of course, Kimmy. And I hope to have Kimmy back on the show down the line. But that's in the future. Let's talk about the current. Let's talk about right now. Let's talk about the Samoan werewolf, Jacob FATU. I got a chance to sit down with him, actually stand up with him, and have a conversation and learn a little bit about this guy. And he's a great guy, and he's a great performer. And without any further ado, let's get over to the interview with Jacob FATU. We're standing outside the infamous PCW work farm in Oroville, California. It's a little cold. We got our hoodies on, man. We're gonna stay warm here tonight. It's a big show. It's Work Farm Wars. I'd like to welcome to Mitch, please, right now, the one and only Jacob FATU.
What's going on with it, Mitch, please? What's up with all the people out there, man? What's happening with Oos, man? What's going on?
What's up, man? Hey, thank you so much for coming on the show today, man. You just were telling me this is the first podcast you've ever done.
Yeah, man, one of the first podcasts that I've done, man, since I've been out here in NorCal. Just showing love, man. Just trying to function with the family over here, man, at PCW in Oroville. Oroville. Goddamn, been a long day for me, y'all, out here in Oroville, man. Fucking with PCW, the Uso MPT.
Yeah, man. Hey, it's an honor to have you on the show. And you brought up family. I mean, most people probably know by that last name, and you've got that long lineage of family history in the wrestling business. I mean, briefly, if you could just kind of go over that. It's like you're the son of the Tonga Kid.
Yeah, absolutely, man. My father's the Tonga Kid. He started off, man, in the late 80s, I say. Also used to wrestle as a tag team with Haku as the Islanders. My dad's also brothers to Rikishi, Umaga, cousins to Yokozuna, man, Manu, Samu, the whole nine, man. The Usos, my first cousins, those are Rikishi's kids, and Roman Reigns right now, the son of Sika, the Wild Samoan. So yeah, man, it's a big family tree we got going on over here.
Yeah, man. I'm going to share a quick personal story with you. When I was 12 years old, I fell in love with wrestling because of The Rock.
Oh, right on.
That's your family, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, The Rock is extended family. I mean, I don't really want to, you know, I mean, The Rock ain't never been to my birthday parties, no barbecues, you know, but if there is one thing about The Rock, you know, he is extended family. And every time I used to see that motherfucker, man, he always gave me $100. So shout out to Dwayne Johnson, man. What's going on, Oos?
That's what's up, man. Yeah, definitely. Big shout out. I wouldn't be standing here, man, without that guy, watching him growing up and
Absolutely.
stuff.
Hell of an entertainer, man. The whole family, man. You know, we all out there.
Absolutely, man. And so let's talk about your wrestling career, man. What? Obviously, it's in the family, it's in your blood, it's in your genetics. But like, what made you finally decide I gotta start training? And when did you start training?
You know what? I actually didn't want to be a professional wrestler. I mean, I never thought I would end up wrestling, you know, inside the family business. It's just something that just happened to me, something that just really changed my life. Even though I grew up in it, you know, when I was first trained and I actually started taking it serious, man, you know, I learned how to respect the business, you know. But I grew up in the business not even knowing I was growing up, just listening to, I mean, wrestling was all over. You know, just hearing my dad talk on the phone to promoters, dinner time, just everywhere we went, man. But it really changed my life, man. It really took care of me, my family. I seen the good and also the bad that this business, professional wrestling, man, can actually do to the family and, you know, to the loved ones. A lot of sacrifices. You know, man, it's just, it takes a lot. I was trained out there in KnoXX PRO, Los Angeles, California, by my uncle Rikishi, my dad's older brother, the Black Pearl, my other uncle Reno Anawai, my dad's cousin, and the Vampire Warrior, man, no other than Gangrel himself, man, Mr. David Heath. So, you know, they put me on and, man, they taught me everything. They not only just how to work or be a professional wrestler, but, you know, just the respect they're having for this business, you know, the ins, the outs, you know what I'm saying? I mean, hell, man, they taught me how to be a manager, a ref, a damn commentator, everything, you know, so... just having the proper training is great out here, man.
That's big, man. Yeah, no, I think I feel the same way. It's like you're only as good as your training, you know. So Absolutely. You've been trained by some of the best ever. Who are some of the guys like early on that you were like, I want to be like that guy. I want to take a lot of knowledge from this guy. Guys that kind of they motivated you, they inspired you, that you know you looked up to and wanted to be like.
Well, I mean, you know...
Not just in wrestling, but overall in life, man. Just your inspirations growing up and, you know, as a teenager.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, no other than my father, the Tonga Kid, you know, at first, man. And my Uncle Rikishi, man, you know, him, my Uncle Yoko. I mean, just being around them, just seeing what type of money and, you know, and what type of dedication that you have to put in this business, you know what I'm saying, to be successful. Just them. I mean, you know, we may look like big, scary Samoan people, you know, really kicking ass. I mean, you know, don't get it twisted now. You know, you push our button, you know, you're definitely gonna get your ass whooped. But other than that, man, we're great, loving people and just giving people as well. You know, so it's my uncles, my father. I mean, just mainly my family members. You know, because. Without seeing what they do while I was growing up in the whole nine, man, you know, it's just, I think I probably would have been here, man, you know, so, my father, my Uncle Rikishi, Eki, aka Umaga, Yokozuna, you know, those are the guys that I looked up to, man, while growing up.
Definitely, man, and you said, you basically, conducted all your training through KnoXX PRO. That's in Los Angeles, right?
Yes. It's actually right there in Sun Valley, California, right off the 5 freeway, Tuxford Street, 1201 Tuxford. You know, if y'all want to get the address right now, I'll give it to you exclusively. But, yeah, other than that, yeah, man, I've been training out there. I've only been wrestling for like 3.5 years, brother. Yep. You know, but just having the proper training, man, the greatest training ever. I mean, hands down. I'm not saying that because that's my family and, you know, they produce, you know, our family produce great wrestlers. No, they give you a little bit of everything. And, you know, it all starts from your training, man. You get the proper training. I seen these guys turn a nobody into somebody. I seen these guys make a damn broomstick a superstar over there at KnoXX PRO. I mean, it's possible.
A notable gentleman that's come through KnoXX PRO as well, Rusev.
Absolutely, yeah, Rusev, man. Still humble cat until this day, man. You know, he still show my uncles a lot of love. And I had my first time meeting Rusev, man. You know, he told me straight up, like, listen, brother, your uncles took care of me, man. You're in good hands. hands, which is, I already knew that, but for somebody like that to go on TV, I mean, man, wrestle John Cena his first WrestleMania, get a big push on his debut at the Royal Rumble, you know, man, this is a man that's humble, and he told me he's exactly like that, because, you know, the respect and everything that my uncles, Rikishi, the Black Pro, Reno Anawai, and Gangrel have taught him.
Yeah. Did you get a chance to train with Rusev, or when did your training begin officially?
My training began, was it 2016, 2013, I believe. Yeah, around August. Yeah, I think it was August, and yeah, it was August 2000 and what did I say? 13.
13. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, August 2013 out there, and but Rusev, man, I've been in the ring with him once, and let me tell you, man, you wouldn't know professional wrestling until you actually get in there with a professional, and you know, when you lock up with him, when he takes you over down for a headlock takedown. I mean, the guy is smooth. He looks big. He's yoked, man. He's big, good physique. But man, when you lock up with that guy, just smooth. I mean, light as a feather. You wouldn't even feel the cat. But other than that, Rusev has stopped by KnoXX PRO, the famous domain out there where my uncle's trained at throughout his career with WWE, and you know, shows a lot of love. He's just a giving person, man. So shout out to you, Rusev, man. Miro, what's going on, Us?
Yeah, man, and he landed one of the hottest women on the planet, man, and married her. I mean, props to Rusev, man, no doubt about it. I've really been enjoying.
He deserved it, man. He don't work that hard, hell yeah, you know.
Yeah, no, I've really been enjoying his run, man. I hope nothing but success for him as well. What are some of the standout moments in training, like some of the hardest times you had, or just some of the things that just stick out to you the most? Like
it's pushing yourself. I mean, you know, man, and once again, I keep going back to KnoXX PRO because, you know, they brought that fire out of me. You know, they brought that you can go as hard as you work. I mean, the things that stand out in training is training, period. You know, that's the only way to get better. You know what I'm saying? If you want to try a new move, you athletic enough, you know you can do it. But, man, without practice and training, man, training is where it's at. I believe I was trained the proper way, but not only that, I went to training every day. I mean, hell, I done had my youngest son, and then 3 hours later, I'm on my way for an hour and a half drive on my way to training. You know, it's dedication, man, and training is where it's at, you know, hands down. I mean, not everywhere, if you just go to training, you're going to be good. With the proper training, man, and dedication, you know. And the hardest thing to do is when you're tired, you're blown up, man, you got to dig down deep inside you, man. It's go time. It's go mode, man.
I love that mentality, man. I mean, there's no doubt. I'll be honest, the first time I saw you was Off the Chain, PCW Off the Chain in Oroville back in October of this year, 2016.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't know what to expect because no offense, but I never heard your name before that show, good, man. I didn't know you because I'd been out of the business for about a year.
Man, nobody know me, man.
But I tell you what, I knew exactly who you were at the end of your match. I was watching you. You're close to 300 pounds, 250. I mean, and you're flying around, bro. You're jumping off the top onto the floor. I mean, you're doing standing moonsaults. I mean, man, bro.
Just trying to change the game, you know. I'm just trying to, coming from a good wrestling family, you know, you always want to separate yourself, and, you know, you want people to remember you for, you know, who you were and what you can do, you know, and I'm just trying to add a little bit more different type of style, you know, because a lot of people ain't seeing Samoan springboard and standing moonsaults like that. I mean, everybody could do it. Our whole family could do it, you know. It's just I'm just trying to switch it up a little, you know. I want people to know definitely my family and where I come from, which is the Samoan dynasty. But I also want people to remember me for what type of worker I was, and you know, my different type of styles that I had. So.
Yeah, man, and you're working all over NorCal now. I mean, but before NorCal, man, I want to know what brought you to NorCal. But I mean, how was everything down in Los Angeles? Were you able to get some matches under your belt down there?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. The whole 3.5 years out there in KnoXX PRO. I mean, wrestling with hungry guys just like myself. You know, hungry cats that's ready to put in their dues and ready just to learn, man. Soak up every second. You know, if there's one thing about being out there in Los Angeles, you know, yeah, you could get trained in the whole nine, but just being around my uncles and my family, period, you know, just riding in the car with them, eating dinner with them, hanging out, watching a movie, moving a couch, or, you know, just that time with them, that's priceless knowledge, you know. So just being around people that actually been there and just that great priceless knowledge, man, is unbelievable, and I'm just blessed, man. You know, I just had that chance to be around, you know, one of the greats, Rikishi, my father, and Gangrel, Black Pearl, the Count of Black Pearl. So it's great, man.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I feel like, you know, it's what you do in between the moves, and it's also what you do in between the shows, you know, the traveling, the studying, and all that. Yeah. And you've obviously done that. You practice what you preach, man. What brought you to NorCal, and what has been some of your favorite memories so far?
Oh, man, I just came out here to NorCal. First off, man, you know, shout out to All Pro Wrestling, Supreme Wrestling, Pro Championship Wrestling. Man, who else, man? The whole 9 hours.
I saw you at Gold Rush Pro Wrestling.
Gold Rush, man. Yeah. There we go. Shout out to Sparkey, Markus Mac, Sir Samurai, Sal, man, Zack, everybody just who been showing me love and just open arms, you know, especially my Road Warrior families, man. Donovan, my brother Donovan, man, my brother Will Roberts, man, wrestling personified, Rick Luxury, my brother from another mother, man. Jody, man, War Pig, man. Shout out to them. The boys been taking care of me, man, since day one, man, since I first moved out here. And it's crazy because, you know, we all live around in the same area, you know, but just the love that I got from those cats, man, is unconditional. And I love y'all for that, man. And you know, just shout out to the boys, man. You know, that's it. And but man, I've been out here I've been out for a couple months, and it's been going good. You know, I've been wrestling great people, man, just like Big Sin, Levi Shapiro, man, Vinny Massaro, you know, Will Hobbs, Big Dog Junior Kratos, you know, JR Kratos. You know, there's a couple people I do want to work. Reno Scum, man, I've been watching them since I was young, man. You know, and I got a lot of respect for Brother Adam and Brother Lester. So shout out to the Reno Scum. I actually love everybody from Reno, bruh. I done wrestled all the Reno people besides Reno Scum, and I think that's it. Just Reno Scum and a couple other cats from over there. But I wrestled Karl, Striker, the Reno Rejects, Wolfgang. You know, so shout out to everybody out there in Reno, man. You know, I got love for y'all out there, and man, Reno shows the Uso love back. So you know, but there's a couple people that I do want to wrestle. I already said that, huh? Yeah, I already said that. We're going to come back to that. We're going to next question.
Hey, man, no, it seems to me like you're surrounding yourself with great people, man. Yeah. There's no doubt you've already been successful. You're going to continue to be successful. But, yeah, my next question was, I mean, what are your goals, man? What are some of the people you want to work? What are some of the things you want to do? Where are some of the places you want to go?
Well, right now, and I'm thankful for them taking the chance of putting me on. Shout out Caesar Black, man. What's going on, Caesar? A lot of people that have been really putting me on and pushing me and taking care of me. You know, just helping me as a person and as a character. Is Zack, you know, like I said, Brother Rick and them, Donovan, Will, Jody, Markus Mac, and just the whole NorCal family, Samurai. I also wrestle on the tag team with me and my little brother Journey FATU. But y'all only could catch us out there in SPW for right now. And man, what else, man? There's a lot of. I'm still out there in Los Angeles too at a company called Pacific Coast Wrestling, PCW. Yeah. And man, it's off the
other
fucking
PCW.
hook.
Yeah. No, I've heard great things.
It is off the fucking hook, man. And just shout out to Joe, Brother Mike out there, and the whole Pacific Coast Wrestling family, PCW. Next show will be January 20th out there in Wilmington. If you listening to this, you want the information, follow me on Facebook at Jacob Fatu, Instagram _Samoan_werewolf, Twitter Jacob Fatu, man. You know, y'all check in. You know, if y'all want to see me in action, those will be the social media things to follow and check me out. But yeah, man, shout out to Pacific Coast Wrestling and the whole 9 out there, man. They show the Usos a lot of love out there, and it's great. You know, it's a real great crowd. That crowd make you feel like a grown man, though. You know what I'm saying, bro? It make you feel like a grown fucking man out there. So, shout out to everybody out there in SoCal.
Definitely, man. And yeah, we got some plugs out of the way. I want you to plug anything you'd like to plug for the month of January, man. This will be out. Everyone will be able to hear what you have going on in January. Before we get to the final plugs, man, and I let you get out of here. And again, thank you so much for doing this, man.
It's all love, man.
NXT Japan, man. What's on the horizon? Where do you see yourself in the next couple years?
I mean, damn, man. Everybody want to go to WrestleMania, man. You know, man. Shit. But man, just to be successful in this business, you know, whether you make a living doing in the Indies out there in Japan, but I really would like to be in WWE and have a 4-way match at WrestleMania against me, the Usos, and Roman Reigns. So, shout out to my brothers out there in WWE, man, doing the thing as well, and a couple other cats, indie wrestlers that I know that got signed, but that's it, man. Just to be successful in this business, do it right the first time, so I ain't got to try to double back and do it again later on in the future, So that's it, man.
Yes,
but thanks for having me, though, bro. I really appreciate the love, though, Us.
Hey, FATU, Jacob FATU, the Samoan Werewolf, man. Thanks for coming on the show. Anything else you want to plug out while you're heading out the door?
Man, just shout out, man. Samoan Dynasty, where it's at, and just check me out, man. Everybody, give God praise and the glory, man, and have a blessed day. Safe holidays.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Us.
The Big Oos, the Samoan Werewolf, Jacob FATU, man. Thank you very much for coming on the show. Make sure you guys keep up with everything he's doing, here in NorCal Wrestling, down there in LA with Pacific Coast Wrestling, and then, up here with Pro Championship Wrestling and All Pro Wrestling and Gold Rush Pro Wrestling and all the other places that Jacob Fatu's wrestling at. The guy is a show stealer, and I think 2017 he's getting that NXT contract. That's what I'm guessing here on Mitch Please. And speaking of Mitch Please, what a year it's been for this show. 2016, actually, April 24th, 2016 was the first ever recording and the debut episode of Mitch Please, and this show's came a long way since then. 18 of these episodes, and it's been a wild roller coaster of a year for me, physically, mentally, spiritually. That's hard to say, actually. And it's hard to feel, It's been really hard to feel the emotions and everything that I felt this year with getting away from wrestling and getting away from being in real good shape, because I put on, 50 pounds, guys, in a year. I mean, that's wild. There might be something medically wrong with me, actually, besides the fact that I'm a pizza addict and a ranch fiend. So I'm looking into that. With the surgery and everything else on my shoulder, it's been crazy. It's been nuts, but I'm thankful for the positives in my life. I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for my girlfriend, Kaylen. And I'm thankful for my good friends, guys like GDD, guys like Zach, guys like Shupe, and others too that, maybe I'll click into my head here in a minute, and I'll give you some love, and I'll give you a shout out, Guys like Pat, it's always good to see Bradley Rotten, and there's just so many great people I've been fortunate enough to have in my life, including a guy, Rick Luxury, who has been a mentor for years. And his family has always been nothing but kind and gracious to me. And as I record this, sadly, his sister, Autumn, was struck by a stray bullet in Antioch. And right now, I believe she's in ICU. I'm really not sure of the details. But I have prayed for her. I know many people are praying and hoping for her to come out of this all right. It's a sad thing that people are still shooting each other on the damn street. Over what? Over what? Thoughts and prayers with Autumn and with Rick and with their whole family. And it's going to be hard to transition out of that, but I just want to say thank you to everybody that has listened to this show. I want to thank all my guests that have come on this show this year. I don't feel like listing them all right now, but if you're a fan and you know who they are, and you can find all that, all those episodes and so much more on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/TheMitchValentine, Facebook.com/MitchPleasePodcast, at HeartbreakerMV on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. And, I just want to say, as we approach these holidays, approach a new year, and again, my thoughts, and you can hear in the sound of my voice, my thoughts are with Rik O'Shea, Rik Luxury, and Rik's family, and Autumn Breeze, and everybody in Antioch, and everybody that has love for Autumn, because there's lots of people. Personally, I'm going to share a story here about Autumn. Every time I see Autumn in a show, whether it's a PCW show, whether it's a Gold Rush Pro Wrestling show, it doesn't matter. She always has a smile on her face, and she comes in, she gives me a great big hug, and she says, "It's good to see you." And usually she cracks a joke on me or something, and she makes me smile. She brings a smile to my face. She's been a great friend, and she's been a great person, and she's going to continue to be. Nothing but positive vibes for all that. I just want to end the show on a positive note. So thank you again to everybody out there listening and spreading the word. And a big special thank you to the starving artist, Dupre, who, you hear at the start of every episode of Mitch Please. And I featured a few other songs, if you're going back. But right now, episode 18, we're closing out the year. And we're closing out the show with my boy, the starving artist, Dupre. It's all about the love.
Just me against the world. I guess I'll figure it out. It's all about the love, the love. Pass me the beat, I'll turn it into fire. That's that heat, I got songs for this beat. Life ain't easy though. I'll be working hard at the coffee shop and still had no place to go. Macaroni and cheese is kinda hard being me when everything you ask for you gotta say please. But I refuse to play these games, I can only listen to my face when it glistens. It's reminiscent of the first time I picked up the pen and I started the rhyme to my lifetime. I hit the stage, now the lights on. Watch this kid turn into a man with the master plan, master plan. My mommy happy now, but I was sad though. I knew it wouldn't last forever, hell no. So I know I gotta look deep in my soul. Yeah, look deep in my soul. Lord, please forgive me of my sins. Allow me to comprehend where the hate ends and love begins. I'm just a kid from Chico, Cali, trying to live my dreams. No matter how crazy it seems, I know tomorrow has a plan, and the birds gonna sing, and the trees gonna grow, and the water gonna flow. I'm back up on my way with a chip on my shoulder. I'm getting older, the world's getting colder. Why do you make things so hard on me? Family problems, and I broke up with my girl. It's just me against the world. I guess I'll figure it out. It's all about the love, the love. I'm just looking for a spot where I belong. Sometimes I feel so far from home. My heart tends to roam out in the earth. We bounce these ideas and dance together like birds through the stormy weather. At times it's so hard, at times it feels just right. Shedding light upon another soul. Just a stranger, but I wanna let you know that you're worth everything that's beautiful. You might not know my name, but we don't need to play no game. No game, I want you to be comfortable under that skin. And baby girl, you look like a 10. So we need to swim out in the park and through the dark and touch the light. Everything's gonna be alright. Don't shed a tear, you know I'm here. Expanding your atmosphere. I'm letting go of the past. Feel the whiplash. Here to enjoy the last laugh. I'm just running for fun like jumping jacks. I'll do all that you ask. We don't need a mask or a flask or a camera to flash. Just relax, I'll tend to your flaws and fight for the cause. Words so soothing, you can turn my day around like a smile. Forever all we need is love.